All right, so our first plant that we're going to be learning about today is lavender. Oh my gosh, you guys should be, hopefully, I think you guys should be familiar with lavender because it is a pretty popular plant. But look, I have so much of it. Like, I literally have so much lavender, it's not even funny. And I also have a lavender plant that hasn't flowered yet, but lavender, oh my gosh, you can never go, I feel like you can never have too much lavender, okay? I also will share where I get my herbs from, my dry herbs from. So I think that'll be super helpful. But yeah, okay, so talking about lavender today. So let me open my book to our lavender page. Okay, so lavender. It's purple, it's pretty, it smells freaking amazing. Like, oh my gosh. Even dried lavender smells so amazing. It's just like when you smell it, it's like you instantly get like a feeling of calm. It just like goes over you. And I love that. I love that for me, but I also love that for lavender. So basically, lavender is a masculine plant. The element of lavender is air, and then it is also ruled by Mercury, right? Okay, so when we use lavender plants, we're using lavender for protection, self-love or love, peace, longevity, and purification, okay? It is said that lavender was used to place on clothing to attract love. So like this lavender, you would put it maybe like in your clothing drawer just to let your clothes sit with the lavender and soak up the smell, or you probably even would carry it on you, like carry it on your person to attract an individual. Yeah, it said that this scent attracts men, and it also was worn by prostitutes centuries ago to not only solicit their services but to attract men, like we said. Lavender is also burned to induce sleep. So like the smoke from lavender, like when you smell it, it is burned to induce the sleep to make you relaxed and more comfortable, so you have you a good night's rest. After it was burned, it was scattered around the home for peacefulness, which is super cool. I'll always burn me like some lavender incense. I love that so much. I really want to learn how to make incense, but that's a topic for another day. It is also said that lavender is carried on your person to see ghosts, which is spooky, but I didn't know that about lavender. I thought that was interesting when I read about that. Or it's also worn to protect against the evil eye. So that's another thing. Like when we think about lavender, I was reading something in one of the books, and it said like lavender is like sweet but also fierce. It's like a force to not be fucked with, basically. So in this book, for instance, it talks about lavender, and as you can see, we have a tiger right here, so it's like the fierceness, and then we also have a little cute little bunny here. So it's like lavender will show up for you. Like in emergencies, lavender is going to show up for you and show out and do what it got to do to protect you. But it's basically like, you know, like that grandma, that sweet grandma that's like, okay, don't fuck with my grandbabies, because I will, like, you know, flip this whole upside down, okay? So that's lavender. It says tough love. So this book is the Illustrated Herbery. It includes 36 different types of plants, and this book is great for like if you want to do groundwork or shadow work and you want to work with plants. Like, this is the book for you right here. As you can see, they also have beautiful illustrations. So I'll just read what it says about lavender. It says, people think lavender is soft, useful for shaping quiet places and calming rowdy children, but beneath her powdery scent is a hint of methanol. Smell it? That bite at the back of your palate? While lavender appears to be down to earth and gracious grandmother who soothes your soul and sings you to sleep, you're living a rare and blessed life if that's all you ever need from her. If circumstances should change, call on lavender. She handles emergencies with military precision, keeping a cool head and a strong heart. She makes a fine spy, field nurse, or leader of the resistance. Right? So when lavender appears, it's time to ground yourself and dig into the task at hand. All right? So I love that. Like I said earlier, lavender is like, she's sweet, but she's also fierce, right? So we have some different reflection questions when you're working with lavender, if you do want to work with lavender on a deeper level, right? So how do you handle the ups and downs of daily life? Are you cool-headed or empathetic? Or do your own emotions rise up, keeping you from helping yourself or others? Do you step in or walk away? Do you thrive on drama, inflaming situations simply to watch them burn? During World War I, lavender was used to treat wounds, which I think is pretty cool, because I did not know that it was used to heal. But I mean, it also makes sense because this is such a calming herb. Like, you just smell it, and I cannot stop smelling it. But when women wore corsets, they would put lavender inside their corsets to wake them up if they fainted. Lavender is also used to repel moths. So back in the Middle Ages, it was thrown across the floors, like scattered, to not only invoke that peaceness, but also to repel moths, which is interesting. I didn't know that either. But what's this? Fact number 4: lavender was used during the plague it was burned during the plague to keep sickness from spreading, which is also, like, I'm learning all this stuff. I hope you guys are learning cool things too. But yeah, I did not know that about lavender, and this is such a, you know, all of these plants have deep history because they've been around for centuries, right? Lavender also clears heat. It's also good for asthma when it's connected to anxiety. Helps with dizziness, depression, fear. Like, it's gonna get you covered. It's gonna, you know, I feel like lavender is a grounding plant. Like, it's gonna ground you and bring you back to your center, to earth. So another thing I forgot to mention is that some people use lavender. They'll get a piece of paper and rub the lavender on it, and then they'll use those to kind of enchant the paper and write a love letter. So that's another cool plant magic tip for lavender. But if you want to learn more about the different medical uses for lavender, definitely do your research. But I know that from reading some of my books, it says lavender is not something you use in heavy dosages when you are pregnant. So definitely do all your research if you want to work with lavender in a more herbalist way, I guess I would say. But as far as like using it for its different healing properties, I just love, like, oh my gosh, I'm like making it so neat. But yeah, so that's what we learned about our lavender plants today. I hope you guys got a lot of cool and useful information. This is lavender, also known as Mother of Dragons, which is what one of my books said, but I think that's pretty dope. So always remember to allow your intuition to guide you, and I will see you guys in the next video when we're discussing the next plant.